Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play SaGa 2, Goddess of Destiny. I've just made a brief pit stop in Final Town where I left some things with the warehouse men, picked some other things up as well, and now we're marching off to war. And we are armed to the teeth, but a little bit more on that in a minute. Right now we're using that 78th relic, the Goddess's Heart, to open this door here and make our way into the Sky Pillar. We're now leaving the final world and entering the celestial world for the final time. And this is where the final battle between us and Apollo is going to take place. We're going to work our way up here. I thought previously that this building off in the distance was actually the Castle of Fate, where the Morai live, but you never actually see the exterior of the Castle of Fate because this is something different entirely. This white sort of Disney castle cathedral here is actually the Central Temple, which is the place that the relics have led us. After all this time, we've been gathering all of the relics, and the road ends here at the Central Temple. Now that all of them have been assembled, well, soon they will be anyway. Let's enter this door here and find what awaits us. Whew, getting a little bit eerie here. We got flames all around, and here he is, the man himself, Lord Apollo. What does he have to say for himself? He stole all of our relics, he threatened our friends. We've really got to stop him because whatever he's got planned, it can't be good for anyone but him. The Colonel, yeah, he's alive. He cannot be done away with so simply. We don't know what will happen. Yeah, it's true. We really don't. Even if he has an agenda in mind, there's no guarantee. And it seems they have some history together. The father and Apollo have previously battled for the Holy Grail, and Apollo is not going to be bested by Father again. He finished using the relics. Interesting. He appears to not know that he's missing one, so he may have gotten himself into a little bit of trouble using those relics, but no matter, because we're doing battle with Apollo right now. Alright, so, like I said, we're armed to the teeth. I've changed around my character's equipment quite a lot, really. So the first thing you'll notice is that Elodie has a flare tome equipped, which unfortunately means that she had to forego that Staff of Healing because she didn't have a spare inventory slot, but I think this is going to help us out a lot in this fight. Additionally, I replaced her Dragon Armor with a Guan Yu Armor, which I now realize is the Arthur Armor from the original name, replacing the name of an Eastern character with a Western one. The Guan Yu Armor became the Arthur Armor, but that is the best armor in the game aside from that exosuit. Now, you'll notice that Zenith is the character whose equipment has changed the most. He still has these 4 taijutsu techniques that he had before, but he now has the Staff of Healing that Elodie had equipped previously, along with an elixir and a nuclear weapon. Look at that. It's just a detonator. Okay, well, the reason that he now suddenly has these 3 new inventory spaces is because I unequipped his circlet, his dragon scale gauntlets, his air bash, and his dragon armor, and in exchange for all of those things, gave him a power exosuit, which sort of takes up all 4 of those slots. And I'm not joking around in this encounter. I'm gonna pull that trigger, and we're using the nuclear weapon on Apollo right now. Next up is Natsmer. You'll notice that I replaced her 44 Magnum with the Blackbird weapon that we got last time. I wonder if this weapon is like one of a kind and unique to our team title, because we found this at an excavate point that we unlocked by talking to someone in a sort of team title specific encounter in Final Town. So I wonder if each team title has a sort of like ultimate weapon. Well, if that's the case, this is the ultimate weapon of friendship, so I'm happy to have that along. And additionally, I replaced her Genji gloves with Zenith's Dragon Scale gauntlets and her Dragon Armor with a Guan Yu armor. I'm guessing that I'm not going to need the Dragon Armor where I'm going. It was really nice having immunity to all of those elemental attacks for a while, but I'm less worried about elemental attacks than some other things going forward, so the higher defense of the Guan Yu armor is going to prove more beneficial to me. Also useful to me, I think, is this beam rifle. I think the defense-penetrating nature of these laser weapons is going to come in handy in some of these coming fights, this one included. Next up, we have Virtue, and the only change I made here was replacing his missiles with the Sunblade. The Sunblade was purely for strength-boosting purposes. You'll notice that it's significantly weaker than both the Gungnir and the Excalibur, but the missiles I do not feel I was going to get a whole lot of value out of going forward, largely because of the Yoichi's bow, but also because he's just going to be using these Gungnir and Excalibur a lot going forward. And the added strength bonus of the Sunblade is huge compared to the 0 stat bonuses of the missiles. I think this boosted his strength up into the 90s, which is where his defense is as well. So yeah, Virtue is incredibly formidable at this point. The Gungear and Excalibur, as far as I know, are like interchangeable. They both deal damage equal to strength times 15. And are they both group attacks? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they're both group attacks, and I think they both ignore defense, similar to laser weapons. So the only difference between them is really their number of uses, but it's good for Virtue to have both of them equipped because they both increase his strength also. So it's strong. He's stronger having them both than having them separated. So like, I think I made the right choice giving the Gungnir to Virtue and not Zenith. Anyway, let's use the Gungnir here on Apollo. And last up we have Father. I made no changes to his equipment at all, and he's just going to be using the Father's Whip on this turn. So let's get started. Now Apollo, you may recall, has all 77 relics, which includes the Aegis Shield. That's right, our greatest weapon being used against us. He has the Aegis Shield. So you'll notice that I've taken specific care to have weapons like this laser and like that nuclear bomb, which are unblockable. Yes, and the Gungnir as well. These are all weapons, and the Flare Tome as well. Like, I specifically chose weapons going into this fight that would be useful against Apollo, knowing that he was going to have the Aegis Shield to use against us. Because not only does it completely neutralize all elemental attacks for the remainder of the battle, but remember it is a shield as well, which means that it can block physical attacks. Now, Zenith, unfortunately, he just had the one use of that nuclear bomb, and it definitely did its job. It did a lot of damage, it had a really spectacular effect, and it comboed into Natsmer nicely. But Zenith is not going to have a whole lot to do going forward. His attacks are basically guaranteed to be neutralized should Apollo use the Aegis Shield again, which he's very wont to do. So what I'm going to do is use the Hell Wheel here, or the Mountain Storm. What I want to do is just use his Taijutsu techniques. I want to get these numbers down to make them more powerful. So let's get started on this Hell Wheel. I don't know that I'm going to have the time before the game is done to really get the Hell Wheel up to a good power level, but let's give it a shot. And we'll shoot with this beam rifle as well, and with the Gungnir. Now, even though like Father and Zenith's attacks are easily blocked, I'm pretty sure that they'll still be able to combo with my other characters. Well, I guess Father's won't. yeah, we know, the Aegis Shield's protecting you. But in Zenith's case anyway, even though he's not going to be dealing damage, most likely, it's still good that he's attacking because that means more opportunities to use threads. Like right here, yeah, that vacuum drop did nothing because of the Aegis Shield, but it meant I got to carry that combo over to Virtue, and then again over to Elodie to power up her Flare Tome into a Mega Flare. That's going to be damaging, I'm sure. How much? 772. I was really hoping to see 4 digits there, but still an incredible amount of damage. Much more than we've seen out of Elodie in the past. And Apollo hasn't done any damage to my characters yet, so I'm just going to run that turn back and hope that we can continue attacking him. He seems to be, yeah, I'm sure your power is very unparalleled, but I've seen right through your game here. Like, I completely screwed up that Odin fight, and it did not go well for me, but I came prepared to this fight. I'm not going to lose to Apollo. Like, I know his little tricks. I better than anyone know about the Aegis Shield. I rode to victory on the back of that thing enough times that I know all the tricks, and I am not going to lose to it. And I'm going to get it back. God damn it, I'm going to get it back. Oh yeah, the Masamune too. He mentions that he has that, but he's not going to actually use it. He's going to continue using the Aegis Shield. Yeah, so Apollo has access to all 77 of the relics we had previously. I mean, he could use the Angel Wings and just fly away if he was really worried about us, but he's clearly pretty confident that that Aegis Shield and that Masamune are going to be enough to defeat us. But I think he's wrong about that. I think he's a little bit outclassed at this point. Maybe he didn't know that we had gone to Nasty Junction and got all this sweet tech. Actually burning through the uses of that Flare Tome, which is okay because I have at least one more of them still in the warehouse. Ooh, here it comes. All right, the tide is changing here. He's no longer content to simply use that Aegis Shield. He acquired all 77 relics, or so he thinks, and so he wished upon the power of that shining star to become a true god for once, and so now we see the true form that he's attained by using all of those relics. But little does he know he was missing one, so his new form is incomplete, and we still have a chance to defeat him before he becomes all-powerful, which of course he will. Should we fall here, we'll get that final relic and have all the power he needs. But for the time being, we can exploit that one missing relic and win the fight. Alright, Flare Tome, Hell Wheel. Keep it up, everyone. I'm pretty sure I've got this one. Yeah, let's begin. Show me what you've got. Alright, there's the Masamune. Enough to take Zenith from full HP down to a mere 100. Alright, gonna continue attacking though. Combo over here onto Virtue's attack. Hit him with that Storm Lancer. That was a little bit different than the previous combo attack I saw with that. And, ooh, we get another, a new flare. That's different than what the Mega Flare we saw previously. Yeah, it seems that some of these weapons have multiple combo attacks depending on how many chains there were before them. Alright, so now I have a decision to make because Zenith's hurt. Do I actually want to heal him? Because I gave him these healing items in case he needed them. I don't see why not. If he survives, let's go ahead and use the elixir. And, well, you know what? Actually, let's have Father do the healing because Father's whip isn't doing anything in this fight. So yeah, continue using the Hell Wheel, Zenith. I wanna work on that Hell Wheel as much as possible so that I have access to that in future fights. Father's going to go ahead and use the Staff of Healing. I don't mind using Father's Staff of Healing at all, because Father's not going to be with us forever. Even though he's with us now, we are not going to have access to the Father for the rest of the game. But, ooh, ouch, okay. So, Apollo finally dealing some actual damage there, dropping a flare that destroys Elodie, Zenith, and Natsmer and leaves Father and Virtue with very few HP. But I'm going to continue fighting anyway. And I'm going to use the Goddess's Heart, the final relic. It can restore everyone, even the dead, to perfect health. So I'm going to go ahead and use that with Virtue. Father's going to use the Staff of Healing, and hopefully this works. Hopefully we are not defeated before Virtue has the chance to get that relic off. Oh, excellent. Okay, so Virtue uses the Goddess's Heart, restoring everybody back up to full HP, including himself, who just got hit this turn. And we're all back in the fight. So again, with the Flare Tome, the Hell Wheel, the Beam Rifle, and the Gungnir over here, and the Staff of Healing from Father, which, actually, wait, hold on. Father goes first, because he's fastest, so we don't actually need to use the Staff of Healing. Other things aren't actually going to have any effect, because they're probably going to be blocked, right? Maybe not anymore, we'll try it. Is the Father's whip? Okay, yeah, that is actually going to work, now that, we're past the Aegis phase of the battle. So that's very nice. Ooh, but another flare, and I do not have the Goddess's Heart to bring everyone back this time. So we're actually going to have to win this from here. Going to continue swiping away with that Gungnir. Going to use the Staff of Healing with Father. Hopefully it's enough to keep Virtue alive for another round. He's got to be getting low on HP as much damage as we've dealt in this fight. Come on, Gungnir. Alright, good. Good to see hits. It was frustrating how much Virtue is missing during the fight with Odin, but he seems to be hitting much more often against this opponent. Oh no, the flare came off before Father's turn, which means this one's pretty much a wrap. Ooh, we got a limit drive, but that's not going to be enough. What I need is for Calliope to appear and bring everyone back with the Wind of Restoration. That's really my only chance at this point. Let's see, is the Magnum actually more powerful than the Father's Whip? Because the Father's Whip, the actual like whip stunning effect is negated on this boss. It's probably still a more damaging weapon anyway. Miss isn't what I wanted to see there. Really though, I just want to stay alive. Let's use the Staff of Healing. Let's just see how long I can keep Father alive. And my hope is that eventually Calliope will come along and save the day. It's worth dreaming about, I think. Not very likely to actually happen. I have only seen her appear once, but it could happen again, who knows. Keep on using the Staff of Healing, keep Father alive as many turns as I can. I don't know that Apollo can actually win this, like, Father can hold out for 20 more turns with the Staff of Healing and the Cure Tome. And, like, Apollo's attacks, neither the Flare nor the Masamune can apparently take Father out in one hit. And Father can bring himself back up to full HP with either of those items, I'm pretty sure. Actually, let's switch over to the Cure Tome right now, since he's only healing himself. Oh! Oh! Oh no, the time ran out. Oh, it's because he doesn't have all the relics. Like I said, because we had the final relic, Apollo's form was incomplete. It's unstable, he's falling apart, but it doesn't matter because I got a game over. Alright, let's try again. Okay, I'm entering the second phase of the fight here, and like last time, I've dealt a tremendous amount of damage to Apollo, though he's been doing nothing but using his Aegis shield yet, so he is yet to inflict any damage on any of my characters, despite the amount of damage I've dealt to him. I've gotten a lot of these link attacks, and hoping to see more, because dealing as much damage to him as quickly as possible is the way I'm going to win this. Though, as you saw begin to happen last time, there is actually another way to win this fight. If you're able to stall out long enough, his unstable form will eventually collapse, and you'll just sort of win automatically. but it's incredibly difficult to actually pull that off, and you need to have a non-father character still around at the end of the fight for it to work too. So that wasn't really practical for me to achieve last time around, when father was my only character remaining. So going to continue attacking here, and I wonder if I should, at what point I should start playing it safe and using the Staff of Healing instead of attacking with father. I think I'm just going to do it right now. Just play it ultra conservative here. Okay, so in this case, father went before Apollo, but their speeds must be pretty close because I see them switching off. Sometimes Apollo goes first, sometimes father goes first. And if Apollo had gone first there, I would have been really happy to have used the Staff of Healing because that would have brought Elodie back up to full, and there wouldn't have been any uncertainty going into the next round as to whether she would survive. But now if Apollo gets to go first next round instead of father, then we're in trouble because Elodie's probably going to go down. Okay, so continue using the same attacks from everyone, because I do want to continue using that Staff of Healing, obviously. Okay, and father goes first. Excellent. We do use the Staff of Healing to bring Elodie back up to full. Ooh, but it's a flare, so she's going right back down. Now it's a real shame that Elodie, Zenith, and Natsuma are unable to survive that flare attack. But luckily for me, Virtue is, with 142 HP, clinging to life. He's going to use the Goddess's Heart if he survives to do so. And of course the Staff of Healing from father. But if it's another flare, I don't think I can survive. Okay, the Masamune, I can survive that. Okay, so we've got this. This entire round spent on healing, but everyone's back up to full. I just really have to hope that Apollo does not continue using flare. It's unfortunate how many of the bosses in this game really come down to just hoping that you get a good pattern. Okay, and Staff of Healing from father just to play it safe. He seems to be going consistently first now, but the one round that's not the case. Okay, there's a flare hitting everyone, and down to just Virtue and father, so I'm going to have to cross my fingers and hope that Calliope shows up once again. In the meantime, I can continue attacking with Gungnir. I don't think that's going to be enough, but I can give it my best try. Well, maybe the two of these characters can survive till the end of the fight, and we can win by default. I'm not sure how likely that is, but I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to give up right now. Let's see. Yeah, continue using the Gungnir. Father, however, is... Should I switch to the Kirtome? No, there's no need of that. Just continue using the Staff of Healing. I only have 7 uses of the Staff of Healing left, which could actually be relevant. Oh, no. No. Virtue's not going to be able to survive this. Okay. I think at this point I am going to call it quits and try again. Okay, so a bit of a different strategy this time around. Where I previously had father equipped with a Cure Tome, I'm now using an acceleration device. And my thinking is like twofold here. So first of all, I need something for father to do during these early turns. He can't really get through Apollo's Aegis shield in any way, so I feel like I should have him doing something productive. And since it seemed inconsistent whether father or Apollo would act first in the later phases of the fight, boosting father's agility early on so that he can more reliably heal everyone before Apollo's turn should hopefully get me through this. Let's see how it goes. Okay, here we go. Here's the real fight. Let's see if all those acceleration devices are paying off. I'm not sure how many times I can actually stack that, but each time I've used it, it still said agility up, so I imagine that each one I use is still increasing father's agility. Hopefully that'll be enough to break the tie with Apollo and allow him to act first, but right now, no healing is necessary, so I'm just going to be beating down with everyone, dealing as much damage as I can to try to wrap this up before things get out of hand. Alright, so continuing my attacks here. This Hell Wheel finally going to be getting through, and father at this point, I think I can switch safely to the father's whip, since it would be nice to get a few more attacks in, deal a little bit more damage. He's of course still immune to the effects of the whip, but getting that little bit of extra damage in can very well help. Alright, a Masamune attack on Elodie, single targeting, don't feel too badly about that. Really the only thing I'm worried about from him is the flare. Now, I had to make a difficult decision with regards to father's equipment. I could have kept the Cure Tome around, which actually had more uses than either of his Staves of Healing, but I decided that having the 2 Staves of Healing would be better than 1 Staff of Healing and 1 Cure Tome. But obviously in this situation, I only need the effects of a Cure Tome, so maybe that might not have been the best decision. We'll see how it plays out though. So, once you give an item to a guest character like father, you can't unequip it from them. And so since father had a completely full inventory previously, There's that flare. Since Father had a completely full inventory, I couldn't simply give him the acceleration device because I couldn't remove anything to get rid of it. So I actually had to use up the 16 uses of his Kirito manually before I could equip that acceleration device. And let's see, let's use the Staff of Healing with Father. Even though Virtue's going to heal everyone, Virtue's not going to go until after Apollo, so we need this healing to make sure that Virtue stays alive. There we go. Yeah, definitely necessary. Alright, we get a limit drive. That's good to see. Not sure if that's going to... if we're really going to see the effects of that, but getting more threat opportunities is definitely useful to me. Only 4 uses of the Kiritome left. Let's hope that's enough. That's about all Elodie can do here. Alright, let's see. No healing necessary this turn, so we get to use Father's Whip. And let's go. Yeah, that 300 damage from the Father's Whip is definitely adding up. Oh, but it's a flare. Alright, I knew this was going to happen someday. And there you go, Elodie, Zenith, and Natsmer. Fighting Limit Drive again? Okay. I didn't realize that I could have multiple limit drives in effect. Do they only last for 1 turn? I thought it was an until end of the encounter sort of thing. Alright, using another Staff of Healing here with Father. So hopefully hacking away using Virtue's Gungnir is going to be enough to finish off Apollo before the battle ends. I don't know if that's the case, but at the very least, if I'm able to keep Virtue alive until the end of the fight along with Father, I'll win that way. It's not my preferred way to win, but I'll take it. Really, I just have to hope that he doesn't get to attack twice in a row, or I run out of healing stabs, because those are the 2 ways that this can go badly for me. So yeah, as long as I keep acting with the Staff of Healing before Apollo attacks, he's not going to be able to get through it, but his damage is definitely slow coming. And there we go. We get another limit drive. Okay, I guess limit drives are apparently on a turn-to-turn basis. Let's see. Yeah, continue using the Gungnir. Only 4 uses of it left, but at that point we can switch to the Excalibur. Not much of a difference. This is the last use of this particular Staff of Healing. Yeah, so here's another turn where I would have preferred to have a Kiritome to a Staff of Healing, but I think the 12 uses combined of Father's 2 Staves of Healing should be enough to get me through this fight. Another swipe from the Gungnir, 500 damage, okay. Yeah, I don't think at this point that I'm actually going to be winning with damage, so I could switch Virtue and like start using a Dragon Shield, but the Masamune is unblockable as far as I know, so I don't think that that would actually accomplish anything. Using the Staff of Healing here. Looks like all of those acceleration devices did actually pay off, because I have yet to see Apollo act before Father in this fight. This might be the one. This might get there. I'm just worried about these Staves of Healing holding out. 5 more uses left. Are there more than 5 turns left of this fight? I kind of suspect that there are, because things have not started going badly for Apollo yet. Oh no, Virtue's gone. Okay, so yeah, this one's probably not gonna make it. Well, it does appear that I've done it. As you can hear from the change in the music, this is the final round of the battle. And as you can see, everyone but Natsmer is still alive, though I don't say still alive to imply that they've been alive the whole time, because that's certainly not the case. They've been brought back once by the Goddess's Heart, and just last round by Calliope's Wind of Restoration. So, I think we're going to make it through, but it's a little bit of a cop-out, a little bit of a lame win, but I'll take it. And so the way I've gotten to this point, well, really, I've changed up my strategy slightly, but it's had no effect at all. I made a couple of attempts with a more aggressive setup. I went with a beam rifle on Zenith here, just to make sure I can punch through as much damage as I can. And I replaced Father's acceleration device with a flare tome. And I really liked that acceleration device. I really liked that plan if I was going to go the defensive route. But I was finding that that wasn't working, so I switched it up, tried to go out all offensive by putting these extra weapons on Zenith and Father, seeing if I could just actually punch through enough damage to reduce Apollo's HP all the way. But that wasn't working for me either. It turned out what I did need to do was get lucky here. What really would have been nice is if I had taken the time to raise all of my characters' max HP, do a little bit of grinding to make sure that I was able to survive one of his flare attacks, rather than just having Elodie, Zenith, and Natsmer all be defeated by that single attack. But I really don't want to do that. That would take a really long time, and it's just not practical. So I'm going to take this incredibly lucky win instead, and just let Apollo's body fall apart here. You know, I really liked Apollo a lot better back when he was wearing the suit. He was a really pretty guy back then. I don't know why he had to go and turn into the winged bear thing, but oh no, Father! Oh no. Apollo exploded when we defeated him, or when his body fell apart anyway, but Father sacrificed himself to save us. Elodie gets a max HP increase and a spirit increase, and Zenith gets a max HP increase and an agility increase, and we get an evaluation from Urania. But what's going to happen next? Tune in next time to find out. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you then.